Namaste. I see the divine in you as you see the divine in me. Namaste. And isn't this always the most beautiful way to greet each other? As I see the divine in you and you see the divine in me, we learn to understand that we're learning to walk a higher path of love consciousness. And welcome to the time of the great alignment, when all your old prophecies of the very old times are becoming fulfilled at this time, and when we are learning to understand what higher love consciousness is, and learning to walk in love with galactic love consciousness. My name is Suzanna Maria Emmanuel, and I'm the channel for Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great and the Great Chiron, who are here to take us to the next level of evolution. But they are always asking us, who is ready to be taken to the next level of evolution, and how important is it to them? For this is the large call at this time on this planet. So it is my beautiful privilege to step aside and to allow them to teach, and I'm always very grateful that I'm a channel. Then I don't need to learn words, or I don't need to learn anything. I just sit here and allow them to speak. Although having stated that, it has taken many, many lifetimes to get to this level, so please understand that too. It's not easy to have the life as a channel, because as a channel I learn more things than all other people. But it is a beautiful privilege. So before I close my eyes, I'm going to read you the forgiveness statement. And please know that at Divine Activations we receive forgiveness codes. And when we grow as a collective, we can forgive not only for ourselves but also for our planet, because our planet needs so much healing, and also for all of mankind, because mankind needs so much healing. Chiron, I bring you now into my spaces of love and healing. I ask for your presence and for your love to be with me at this time. I forgive all that has caused my pain to happen. I release it now. I allow the angels to take it away from me. I bring in the love and the peace, and I desire to understand more joy and self-love. I surround myself with the highest loving divine beings who are here to take care of me. I let go of all fear within me. I release it. I trust that all things are perfect as they are. I am ready to love myself and all of life more. Thank you, Chiron. Thank you, great divine love. Thank you very much for joining us in these spaces. Just one moment, please, while I have my last little drink. Namaste. Greetings, dear brothers and sisters, dear sons and daughters in the light. I am Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great. Happy are those who enjoy these teachings, for these teachings help you to walk a higher path of love. Happy are those who've been praying to stay awake for many, many of their lifetimes. Happy are those who seek the kingdom first and who enjoy walking in the love. It is the most beautiful time of the great calling, when the great divine is here with the people who desire the love and the peace, and who are asking, Sovereign Father Emmanuel, what is it that I can do to step into the love more? Please tell us, Father Emmanuel. These were the same questions that Jesus also had when the people were before him 2,000 years ago. Tell us, Father, Great Father Emmanuel, what is it that we can do to step into greater divine will and into the greater flows of love, so that the blessings may become ours, not only now, but eternally? I, the Great Father Emmanuel, will state, happy are those who have been staying awake enough to keep asking that many lifetimes. For you have lived many lifetimes, not just once. And in each lifetime, you are being tested again to see how much your love for divine is. Do you truly desire to step into divine will? Do you desire to have peace and love within your heart? And in each lifetime, you were presented with different types of events and ways of understanding. Would you be willing to stand in the greater love of your being? And in each time you calculated how much your love grew. And when you grew greater, you advanced further. And so it is that collectively you desired to come into the greater union. And I am asking now, how many people desire the greater kingdom to come? At this time, I, as a Great Father, will say, very small. Otherwise, the multitudes would already be asking, my being, the Great Father Emmanuel. Great Father Emmanuel, please send your word to us and help us to gain those codes of life with the great Chiron, so that we may step into the greater work to do the greater gathering and to bring love and peace to this planet like you promised so long ago. Great Father Emmanuel, what is it we can do to follow divine will? Then I will state, go and get your sacred talents at the divine activations of the great Chiron. Call the word to your place and allow the word to speak as she lived the lifetime of Jesus and many more lifetimes. So much has the channel evolved into becoming wiser since the times of Jesus. If you had the true Jesus that was here 2,000 years ago with you, you would be disappointed. You would see a man not like you expect, and you would say, Jesus, why can't you give us more answers? And Jesus would say, happy are those who seek the answers and keep seeking for the answers, for one day the answers will be given. Jesus 2,000 years ago did not understand how to help the people move forward into the greater time of the great alignment. His task was to allow the people to hear my words of the Great Father Emmanuel. And the people, those ones who enjoyed the teachings, desired to understand more. And they asked, Jesus, teach us more about the time of the great coming. And Jesus would say, no one knows. No one knows the hour of the great coming. No one knows exactly how the Great Father will come, except that he will come in the same way as you are hearing him now, through the Word. Will you recognize the Word Jesus said? For it will not look like me. I will have changed, like you have changed also, he said to the people. You will evolve with many lifetimes. You do not only have one lifetime, for what would the purpose then be? We all need to evolve. We all need to learn and grow. This is what we're here for. Why would the great Father Emmanuel only leave us here on this planet for one lifetime, then he would say, have you learned to step into the love yet? For love will take you many lifetimes, and in each lifetime you will be tested to see how much love is within your heart. And when the greater love is within your heart as a group, then the great Father will return. And then he will examine all the hearts to see how many people stayed in the love and how many people kept asking the great Father Emmanuel, when will he return with his messenger? And then Jesus said, will you recognize the messenger when the messenger comes? He knew he would be the messenger. But he knew he would need to evolve so much more before the great coming. The people did not understand exactly what the great coming was, and many believed it was in that particular lifetime. Jesus, is it in this lifetime? We are praying it is. And Jesus said, no one knows. No one knows the hour except the great Father. He knows all things, for he created all things. It is not up to us to ask, great Father Emmanuel, when will you bring all these promises? It is up to us to ask, great Father Emmanuel, what is it that you would like us to do to step into greater will of yours, the great divine will? Come, let us pray. Great Father, in all the creation and in all the heavens, please bless us. Please guide us to the way forward so that we may be wise, so that we may understand our own wisdom and learn to walk the higher path. Please, great Father Emmanuel, bless us always and teach us how to ask for your greater will to be done so that we may awaken within our heart. Teach us how to forgive ourselves and all others so that we may stand in the greater love. Help us to be patient so that we can truly understand that we need that patience, and then we can learn to become more patient so that when you come, great Father Emmanuel, we are still awake. Please teach us to stay awake. And then the people began to really truly contemplate on all those words. And it is so that Jesus did not know. So if you had Jesus before you right now with the same words speaking to you, you would say, Jesus, please teach us how to do the will of the great Father. And Jesus would state, I do not know, for I am a man. It is not my will that needs to be done, but it is the will of the great Father. Come, let us pray, and let us pray how to do the Father's will. And so he would continue. So the channel needed to develop in many lifetimes. The channel needed to understand all sides of life before coming to this lifetime. Now the word the channel is Suzanna Maria Emmanuel, who has advanced far beyond the lifetime of Jesus. Happy are those who see the channel rising and who are awake within their hearts and who say, Suzanna, teach us, channel to us, let the word speak. Bring the voice of the great Father Emmanuel through to us. Speak to us with other angels. Jesus couldn't. He did not have the ability to bring through the voice of the great Chiron. It was not the time yet. So the people did not hear the great Chiron or other beings speaking to them in such a way. Yes, Jesus talked about other angels and he talked about star beings. But he had the voice of my being. Before he could open up to the greater knowledge, he needed to open up the gate of life, which was opened after the crucifixion. of Jesus. And then he would return in many lifetimes, learning to walk a higher path of love, learning to understand the consciousness of humanity as humanity began to walk through the gates. He walked with the people because he was always the gate opener. You needed the divine love element, the universal light grid programmer, the word to evolve with you, for otherwise you could not evolve to this level and come to this gateway of life. Who is willing to recognize that? For the churches have made their stories about Jesus, but Jesus was never like that. Jesus did not desire to be a sacrifice, and he knew he was not going to be a sacrifice. For sacrifices were not necessary in the eyes of my being, sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great. What good is a sacrifice to my being? Once a man asked Jesus, Jesus, what does the Great Father desire? If I sacrificed each day, would he be happier? And Jesus stated, what good is a sacrifice to the Great Father Emmanuel? For he desires nothing more than you to awaken to what divine will is. Go into your heart and ask, how can you walk in greater love? For those are the laws of the greatness. Follow your heart with your love. Be in the love of the Great Father. Be in the love of each other. For when you follow those laws, then you will walk in the law of love, which is the new law. It is the new law of all of creation, because creation was created with the law of love. When you love, you will not do any wrongdoing, and you will not cause any hurt to another. You will walk in the greater ways of love. When you take from another, you do not have the love for another or for yourself, because you know all things that you do with your heart are blessed by the Great Father. But when you hurt another, then how can the Great Father bless you? For then you will hurt yourself, not only in this lifetime, but in many lifetimes coming. Understand then that those are the laws of the new ways. Always follow the love so that the Great Father can bless you, not now only, but also eternally. Be in the love. Never take from another what is not yours. Be in the love of your being so that the Great Father can bless you, for he sees all things. And that is the great will. So sacrifices do not do anything, for what will a sacrifice teach you? A sacrifice will not teach you how to walk in the love. When someone does something against another and says, I'm going to sacrifice something to make it all good, then what does that teach that person? That person will do the same thing over and over again and will keep sacrificing over and over and over again to make it right what was not right. The Great Father Emmanuel says, learn to walk the higher path of love and then walk in the love. Always follow the ways of the love, and then you will be blessed eternally. And then when the Great Father Emmanuel comes, then when you've stayed awake and you've walked in the love, then he will say, come to the great pastures. And now I can give you the great talents, the eternal gifts to go to the eternal paradise, because you've proven that you knew the ways of the love. So when the Great Father Emmanuel calls at the time of the great coming, remember, ask the Great Father Emmanuel, Great Father Emmanuel, what is it you would like me to do? And then the Great Father will say, come into the great pastures and receive the great talents that I have to give you, that I can give you. I can only give it through the Word. And then the Word, because the Word became flesh among men and women, then the Word can give those sacred talents to you. And those sacred talents will give you everlasting life. And when you receive the talents, go and multiply them. Again, walk in the greater love, because the tellers are of love. They are the greatest gifts you can have from the greatest heavens. They are your eternal pathway to life. And these were the words of Jesus. Now the people understand more. But how many people recognize that the channel needed to evolve? How many people recognize that the word needed to evolve? How many people recognize the man Jesus 2,000 years ago was an authentic channel, but a man of flesh and blood, walking among people, to live with the people, and needing to live with people for so many thousands and thousands of lifetimes, learning the ways of humans, bringing love to humans, bringing the everlasting gifts to humans. Who can see that? Or have you forgotten what true spiritual living and gifts are all about? Happy are those who recognize these pathways and words. Happy are those who are recognizing divine truth versus truth of man. Happy are those who are starting to see the great path forming, and who desire the greater talents, and who desire the word to be spoken to them. For when you hear the channel speaking, and when you are in the presence, you will feel the flows rising. And it is so that the word needs to grow so much more to help you rise into larger beings. Happy are those who desire the path of the blessings, and happy are those who follow the ways of the love and say, Great Father Emmanuel, what is it I can do to do greater works of love upon the planet? And then I will state, ask for the word to be sent to you. Ask for the road to be made clear for you, so that the great talents may come to many, and that you may celebrate the eternal realms of great love in the greatness. May you rejoice in this time, and may you see how all things are blessed when you follow the way of love. Greetings, I am Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great.
Greetings, thank you.